Welcome back, everyone, to an episode, the 10th episode, in fact, of the Sunderland Til I Die series. So, when we left, we had just played Rotherham, and we won 2-0 on, I think we played Rotherham. Was it Doncaster? It may have been Doncaster. I tried to record Wickham. Wickham didn't work. I think it was MK Dons was the last game we watched. So we played Rotherham, we beat them 2-0, we were excellent in that game. Completely played them off the park. Ballyumba and Chris Maguire getting the goals. We then played Doncaster, and again we were really good. We completely deserved to win the game. On our second half performance, first half we were terrible, and they completely outplayed us. But we got a late goal through Josh Gowan in the 45th minute. And they went on to win the game through Will Grigg and Donuts. We then played Tranmere, who are bottom of the league, and we just smashed them off the park. We scored our 3 goals within 23 minutes and proceeded to cruise. And this is where the frustration has really come in the last sort of few games. I'll show you the stats in all 3 of these games. So we went to Portsmouth. Their 2 centre-halves got man of the matches, so did ours. We had 17 shots, 11 on target, 58% possession. Match stats as well. So we had 1 clear-cut chance. I had a half chance was on there. Again, and they had 2 half chances. We really should have put that game to bed, but we just couldn't find the goal. We then played Ipswich at home, which I was like, okay, big game. They beat us at the start of the season. We absolutely dominated them. Again, 59% possession, 7 shots on target, 19 shots. They had 5 with 1 on target. And Will Grigg with 17 penalties taking and 14 finishing, missed the penalty. To say I was livid is probably an understatement. And then to follow things up, we drew with Rochdale, who are sat in 20th. Who were sat in 20th. Their point pushed them up a place. Will Grigg penalty. Will Ferry scored very early in the second half. We then scored through Luke O'Nine in the 90th minute. And I literally was about to change my tactic because we finished the goal. It then went to a kick-off highlight and I clicked pause and started to change my tactic. And then they ran out the other end and scored. So I cancelled the tactic, put it back on attacking again. So today, 2 huge games. Oxford away, followed by Rochdale away. We've just drawn to Rochdale at home in a completely undeserved loss or draw. So that's fired me up for that game. I hope it fired up the team and Oxford. So we are currently on an unbeaten run, barring that 1 FA Cup game. We are currently on an unbeaten run, but we're on a run of 3 games without a win now, which is more cause for concern than it's more cause for concern than if we'd lost. If we'd lost one of the last 3, I'd be okay with that. If we'd won the other 2, but we haven't, so we picked up 3 points instead of 6, which is based on the 2 games, Portsmouth and Ipswich. We should have really taken something from them. So I'll show you the league as well. So Oxford have a game in hand on us. Because of those few draws, that it has really stitched us up, to be honest. So today is a must win. If we want to win the league, we have to win the game. To have any chance, we'll be 4 points behind them with their game in hand, which I assume they'll play soon. We did some transfers as well. The transfers we bought in, Tyler Blackett for £78,000. As a regular starter, he won't be playing wing back. He's playing a ball playing centre back because I think he's got that. He's all right. His concentration decisions are a bit bad. His vision's not amazing, and his technique isn't great, but 14 first touch, 14 heading, 12 passing, decent pace, good jumping reach, 6'3", he fit the bill. £78,000 was very, very reasonable for him. We then signed this kid, who 17, Norwegian, 48.5k. It's a bit of a punt because it was like, oh, I probably should mention this as well. 1 second, I'll do it after the transfers. This is why I can make transfers. We just sort of did a punt on him. We saw him on the transfer list. It is a punt. 17 determination, 16 flair. With 11 technique for a 17-year-old isn't too bad. So hopefully we're going to be training him on his crossing, trying to improve that. Tries tricks, which is a good trait for me personally. If your player is a left winger, I'd prefer him to be doing that. We signed Angel Gomez on loan from Manchester United, which is a huge signing for us. Hopefully can be a really, really solid player for us going into the end of the season. 6.6 in his first game. He didn't play amazing. And then we signed Paul Stevenson, who wasn't signed by me. He was signed by the owner. And like I said at the start of the save, if they sign players, I'm just going to allow it because that's on them. If I get sacked for them signing players, that is something that I have to accept. I think you've seen the ones that have gone out. Lee Burge, Kyle, we know about him, and Aidan McKeady. A final thing, the takeover completed a while back, and they said they were happy for me to stay. Sorry, I need to find it now. I should have paused the video while I find it. Okay, so I've just looked through the inbox and I can't find it. Essentially, they came and just said that they're happy for me to. They are happy for me. Yeah, they're happy for me to carry on. Basically, they're concerned about the finances. 78k for a player of his quality. He is decent as well. We've also signed a few players, arranging for them to join. We have signed Sergio Lozano on a free transfer, joining on the 1st of the 7th. I think he looks decent. 15 passing, 15 vision. Not the greatest for acceleration, but it's likely we'll just play with the deep lying. He does have some mental issues we need to work on, but I think we can get them fixed. Definitely just a technically gifted player that will hopefully be able to build our side around just him being the rotation, giving the ball to him and him creating things for us in the Championship. The next player is Calvin Miller. Kind of a punt. We could have signed him for like 18k now, but I was just like, I don't really want to sign him now. I think we've got enough at the moment with Angel Gomez coming in on loan. He might develop. 22, bit old now. It was more for just sort of depth and cover. I want to have a proper left winger next season, and then this can be the backup as opposed to him being the starter and then a backup. And the final one is this guy. I'm not sure if we will sign him. I've bid for him because it's on a free transfer and he looks okay, but I'm not completely desperate to sign him. I don't think he'll be amazing. So if we decide against it, I wouldn't be surprised. He's only scored 5 goals in 22 league appearances, and that's in the Portuguese 2nd division. So we're not holding our breath for that signing. 7k a week as well, just to be able to get a work permit, which is something that's very off-putting. I've just clicked submit team. I realise that now. I'll show you the team when we get into the game. Probably should have done that before I clicked submit team. So today we're playing McLaughlin, Willis, Blackett, Hume, 09, Power, Gooch, Curtis Jones, Angel Gomez and Grigg, with a bench of Patterson, Lynch, Smith, Dobbo, Maguire, Donuts and Flid. So this is a massive game. A loss today will kill off our title hopes today. And it would mean we just have to go for automatic promotion in the 2nd spot. 09, great ball into Conor McLaughlin on the right hand side. Gets his ball in, it's away. It's good pressure on the goalie. Hume down to 09. Power. It's a proper highlight, I think. Hume. Had a stinker the last few games. Oh! Wow, that actually, you heard that come back off the post. 09 there, just rattling one off the post within a minute of the game starting. It's a good start from us. Hume. Are we actually giving Hume a new contract as well? Because he's played pretty much every game this season. He wanted a new deal, so we've offered him a new deal. He only wanted a fringe player, which is surprising. I was quite surprised when he said he wanted fringe. This looks dangerous. One back by Gomez into Hume on the left hand side. Back to Gomez into Power. To 09 to Hume again. It's good football. Keeping the ball well. Great ball. Angel Gomez can get his first goal. He's got to bend it. He's panicked and gone for Power just at the keeper. He's got to bend it in that back corner. Luca and I'm picking up a booking. We got one clear cut and one woodwork. It's Curtis Jones now. Launch ball forward. Greg is in. Can he finish? Yes, he can! Get in there! Will Grigg with his 22nd goal of the season. I think that looks a lot better than what it actually is. I don't think he actually scored that much. I'm going to drop it back because I don't want to get hit on the counter. That's not. We're getting hit a lot with like long balls over the top recently, which I've just been accepting because we should be creating enough chances with winning the ball back. Gooch, man. I'm actually thinking I might have to let Gooch go as well because he just gets injured so often. We just get hit with silly mistakes by the ball getting lobbed over and our players being too high at the pitch and trying to win a header that they can't. Willis trying to play it from the back. Almost tackled by Grigg. And back to the keeper. Into Hume. Gomez. Power. It's good football. 09. Really good football. Okay. Back. McLaughlin down the right. Grigg. Grigg, get in there! Come on! Away the lads! Will Grigg scores his 23rd goal of the season. We're 2-0 up. It's a great bit of passage of play, keeping it on the left-hand side for ages. Curtis Jones gets the ball out to McLaughlin, who whips in a beaut. Grigg heads it into the net, off the post. Fantastic. Great football from the boys. We kept the ball for so long. That is the tactic, literally perfect. That is how I envisage the tactic working every time. And I know it never actually works like that, but oh, 09. Okay. Dobbo on. I'm not too worried about that. Power. Gets his ball in. Dobbo! He nearly sealed it. I think 3-0 would have sealed it. But 2-0. It's dodgy. Superb. Superb. Excellent performance, boys. Really, really good performance in the first half. I don't need to make any changes. I've already had to make 2 for subs, 2 for injuries. Grigg really coming up trumps today. He's sniffing out the hat-trick now, which means we can't see Flid in this game. Max Power into Donuts. Willis. Max Power can get a shot off. It's into Blackett. Willis. Get across. Blackett, you got a left foot. Dobbo. Jones. Gomez. Angel Gomez! Get in there! Angel Gomez with the third. And that should be that. It's from, I think it all originated from a cross, didn't it? From a set piece. Blackett into Dobbo. Curtis Jones gives it to Angel Gomez, who just spanks it towards goal. Scored his first goal for the club. assisted by Curtis Jones. Oh, it's lovely. 3-0. It's what you want to see. And we have just blown the title race wide open. If only we picked up points in those games, man. The Rochdale one's the one that killed us, because we'd be above them right now. If you'd offered me a draw at Portsmouth, I'd have taken that. We should have won it, but if you'd offered me the draw, I'd have taken it. If you'd offered me the draw at Ipswich, or our ground for Ipswich, I wouldn't have taken that. Oh, what a result. Yes, what a performance as well. That is huge. Excellent. Great work, boys. 3-0. That is so crucial to our title hunt. Okay, so Lyndon Gooch is injured for a day, tackling, match reaction. So we were excellent and thoroughly deserved this win. I'm so proud of them. Can you keep this fantastic form going? Sunderland look unbeatable at the moment. We're performing well and we're playing with confidence. Of course, anything can happen, but we're pleased with how we're looking. I don't think so. Yeah, I have to be pleased. You've used a staggering 28 players so far this season, the highest in the Sky Bet League One. I'm always looking for an edge. He's certainly got plenty to offer. Taylor sacked by Shrewsbury, who are down in 21st. We've got any players that we might want to nick when they go down? On loan from Bristol. Probably not. Okay, so we actually do need to rest these now, because they have. This is not the third month that they've come to me and said, or the third week they've come to me and said they need to be rested. So we actually do need to rest them for the next game. Usually superb in front of goal. Maintain unbeaten records. That's now 10 games unbeaten. We're the top scorers in League One. Which is weird because we've just had 2-0 no draws. But that just puts us in a really good position now. Ipswich, with that draw, with that really lucky draw, the penalty miss from Grigg now looks huge, because we'd have they'd have a point minus, they'd be on 63, we'd have an extra 2 points on 67, so we'd be 4 points ahead of them, 1 point ahead of Oxford. Oxford do have a game in hand, of course. We should have to hope that Oxford still have to play Ipswich or Doncaster away. If they do, that'll be... Oh, they're away to Ipswich next. Oh, that is massive. Doncaster still? They played Doncaster, did they lose? They beat them 2-1 away. Well, Ipswich can have to be the ones to do it for us. Third in the league, they're going to be really up for... Both of those sides are going to be up for that game. Hopefully Ipswich can just shit out to them like they did to us and nick a draw or a win. But then they're further up our bums. Oh, I don't know. As long as Oxford lose their game in hand, I don't care. Because then that puts just pressure on them. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and we will be back for the cup game against... who's it against? Rochdale. We're up for that. We need to win that. It's on TV as well, televised. I think I get 10k for it. We don't get anything. That sucks. And I'll speak to you guys in a second. So guys, we are back with all eyes. It's a huge game today. Rochdale in the leasing semi-final. If we won this, we would go through to I think semi-final. Oh, okay, so we play the semi-final of the Southern game, which is... We're not the Southern game, are we? It's been really weird. Okay, Coventry or Tottenham under 23s. I definitely prefer Coventry, because I don't want to have to play against like amazing youth players. Lovro Major, to be precise. He's actually really good on this game. Can't loan him. Jeremy, wow, he's in their reserves. Jesus. Oliver Skip, I've heard of him. He's played first team game, I think, this season in real life. So we really don't want to have to play Tottenham. Angel Gomez. Let's just win today, and then we can worry about who we do and don't want in the final. So the team we're going to go with is McLaughlin, Willis, Blackett. Hume is going to be dropped for this game because he's really tired. Declan John will come in. We'll put him on a wing back attack. We'll put McLaughlin on the support, just so we've got that cover of a 3 at the back rather than a 4, and Willis can go to a cover. A deep line playmaker in Max Power. Curtis Jones could do with not starting this game, so we're going to start Will Miller instead as a second striker. So this is the team we're going to go with. No, it's not, because he's tired as well. Dobbo, Valiant, but that's so annoying that he's injured. Maybe even Ledbetter. 17 penalties taken if it does go to penalties. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, it'd be useful to have on the bench as an option. So then we take off happily. Dobbo works hard. Do you know what? We're going to drop Gooch and put Donuts there because Gooch hasn't been good since he's come back from injury, and I prefer to have Ledbetter on the bench to bring him on, just to try and like cement the game. So this is the team we're going to go with. It's going to be McLaughlin 09, purely for fitness options because McLaughlin is struggling a little bit. He's a little bit tired. Jordan Willis, Tyler Blackett, Declan John, Max Power, Dobbo, Donuts, Will Miller, Chris Maguire, and Grigg up front, with Patterson, our youth prospect, on the bench. Joel Lynch, Ledbetter, McLaughlin, Curtis Jones, Tommy Smith, and Flid. Do you know what? I'm actually going to give Flid a start, just because his form has been decent. I'm going to give him an opportunity to start this game. Go out there and carry on straight where you finished from the last match. Rochdale, all that stands between our side and a place in the leasing final. We're not there yet. We have a tough tie to concentrate on first. Important to use every tool at your disposal. How are you approaching the task of keeping? The team to beat them. I know I can rely on him. Okay. Huge game. I haven't changed any tactics because our tactics have been working well recently. I don't think we necessarily need to. I think we should continue doing exactly what we're doing if we're getting results and performances. Will Miller fits in. Oh, it's a first really good chance in the first few minutes there. I'm just going to drop the sound down. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound based on my sound, but ball in, Willis away, into Power, back toast. It's a free kick. I think Power was offside. Yeah, he was. Ten minutes in, okay, we've definitely had the better of the first half so far. Donuts picked the book in. Oh my Gideon! Wow. That was a finish. I don't know what the defending was there. But it was given offside. It looked tight. I wouldn't have said that was guaranteed to be offside, that, but the linesman said it was. Ferry on the left. Tackled-ish by Donuts. Dobbo away. Flid will get there. He beats his man. Bit of pace. He's on his left foot. Gets his shot away and he gets it in the back of the net. Come on! Flid! What a guy! He's come out of nowhere and just started scoring. Who'd have thought when I sold Kyle Lafferty that Flid would have taken over like this? It's a great finish as well. It's all his own work. It's a bit not great goalkeeping, but decent finish. Really proud of the lad. To be 17, 18, and doing it in games like this. This is a big game. This is a semi-final. Huge from the young man. Did you run from the halfway line with that? Henderson into Matheson. Great ball in. That is a great ball. Okay, so it looks like a lot of their players originated from the wide position. So we're just going to defend wider, because it looks like they're not trying to play too narrow. Quite easy though from a throw-in to get the ball in that easily. Okay, 40th minute, Willis, donuts. Can he get his ball in? Willis gets the ball in, Flid's there. Penno! Who's our best pen taker? It is Chris Maguire. Flid, 4 penalties, we're not going to put him on him. Come on, Chris. Come on. If you score this, I'll renew your contract. I knew he was going to miss that. I could feel it. I could feel it. That was why I wanted to change him. And if Flid had better penalties, I'd have changed him. But he just didn't. 4 penalties. It's annoying. Willis on the right hand side. I also need to change this quickly. My bad. Throw-ins. Because Willis keeps taking throw-ins on the right hand side. It's really annoying. I hope they're not doing it on the left as well. Why would we bring a left back over to make that? Okay, Will Miller. He's got John on the left hand side. Into Max Power. Will Miller again. Back to Dobbo. That's good football. Flid. Can he find Flid again? Flid's in. Oh, clear cut chance. If that's on his right, if that's on his left, sorry, I think he's left footed, isn't he? Yeah, if that's on his left, he scores that. Oh, I'm not happy with your performance. Okay, good. I actually was happy with their performance, but in this game it's broken because if you tell them you're happy with their performance, they don't really change. So I prefer to tell them that I wasn't, and then hopefully they go out and put in a bit more effort in the second half. Decent ball, very good save. And we're just getting caught out with that ball over the top. Lund will get there first. To Blackett's header cleared it. McNulty, and it's going to be a 0 highlight. Maguire is coming off. 5.9 in this game. We're going to drop him back to an advanced playmaker. We're going to change it up like this just because of the fact that we are getting a little bit overrun, so I just want to shore it up a little bit. So Dobbo now to a ball winning midfielder, Sam Power onto a box to box. We've now got Will Miller as an advanced playmaker on support with an inside forward. So we will still have coverage in that midfield spot, and we'll have Declan John getting up into the left midfield position to support attacks. Don't concede here. We always concede set pieces, and we concede another one. That's incredibly annoying. It's those central ones. I just don't understand why we can't defend them. I feel bad for Flid because he's actually performed really well, but we have to change it. Quite Ledbetter, I suppose, comes on for Max Power or Dobbo. Yeah, it comes on for Dobbo. We put into a deep line playmaker on support. We put him to a shadow striker. We put Donuts to attack. We put him on a complete wing back attack. And we just go for the game. No point holding back now, boys. Got 10 minutes to find yourself 2 goals, really. Power. Decent save from the keeper. Oh, he's off the bar. And out for a throw-in. Come on, boys. There has to be one more chance in this, surely. Right, you're going to have no instructions. Just to be expressive. I've got to change one thing, actually. I want you to play however you want. Come on, the boys. Oh, really? Wow. That's how the game's going to do us. That was really dirty. Oh, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth from what was a decent episode. And Coventry won as well. Well inflated. You did well, mate. Who do I find? Chris Maguire. Discipline player. Poor performance. Fine 2 weeks' wages because you played so bad. And I don't care. Feels fine was unfair. He acknowledges that he is one of the most talented players in the team and players look to him to excel. However, feels that most talented players will occasionally have a quiet match, and that defining him because his teammates didn't allow him to play his normal game is totally unacceptable or unreasonable. You were terrible, Chris Maguire. You just played in our most important game in the season and played a 5.9 and missed a penalty. Don't come chatting to me saying, well, you found me. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. You're boring. You're boring. Yeah. Get demoted to a squad player. I'm assuming that his normal contract isn't. Shut up. Is that actually only 3.5 grand a week? That is ridiculous. I thought he was on a lot of money. Well, that's annoying. Okay, not great. I would have quite liked to win that trophy because I think it was a trophy that we could have won. Disappointed with how the game went down. Flint had a good game, but other than that, everyone else was pretty meh. Max Power did alright. But winning against Oxford is probably the more significant one in the save today, just because it keeps us in touching distance of them. I know it's only 1 point and they have a game in hand, but it's still a point. It's put the pressure on them again. Not ideal to go out, but it is what it is. So, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to play quite a few games. Going to rattle through them. Probably going to play all of March. And probably come back. It might even be that I come back for the last 2 games of the season, to be honest, and we just rattle through. The only thing I would maybe come back for is like, because these are 3 games of 20th, 21st, 22nd, 9th, and this is the time when I would want to be doing it. And if I come back for Peterborough, Burton, it's just a weird time to come back because then I've got 2 games after. You know what, I'm just going to get to the last 2. I'm just going to get to the last 2, Accrington, Rotherham. We'll go from there. If we are still in the title race, we're still in the title race. If we're not, we're not. It is what it is, completely. Form could be good. Form could take a massive drop off, and we fuck it and we get playoff. So it is what it is. That's the episode's, decent episode. The win against Oxford being a real high point, taking the lead against Rochdale, but the loss after drawing them in the league, considering where they are in the league, is very bitter. So I'll be ensuring the next time we play Rochdale that we play absolutely full strength, because they just seem to be a bit of a bogey team for us. So very frustrating today, guys, but we are still in the title race, which is the important thing. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give a like and subscribe. If there's anything that you would like to see in the save, there's any other areas of the game you'd like to see, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to include that as well for you. I may come back actually for our youth intake, depending on where that is. I think that's in March, youth intake. So maybe not. Maybe I'll just show you on the 25th. But yeah, it's in March, and I'll be back for the final 2 games of the season, unless something else happens, unless we get sacked or anything big happens, or we completely fall out the title race. Yeah, I'll come back for that. But other than that, we've got quite a decent run of games: 10th, 13th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 12th, 11th, and 8th. So we've got a decent set of games. None of the real big boys, but they're still games that cause a lot of trouble. We've seen in the past that games that you wouldn't expect to lose, like we've drawn to Coventry there, we've lost to Lincoln there, we've drawn to Tranmere, we've lost to Accrington, we've drawn to Bolton away, drawn to Peterborough. So we've definitely got a lot or two in us. We've got to make sure we rectify it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you guys next time.